All right, so Fired Up Fridays is now Fired Up Freedom. I just want to do a little bit of a recap of season one. It was amazing. I had so much fun, a lot of amazing guests, a lot of great conversation. It was really, really awesome. If you're someone who wants to have a growth mindset, if you're someone who wants to take action and go towards your goals, then Fired Up Freedom is great for you. It doesn't matter if your goal is financial or personal. And now that we're moving into season two, we're going to be talking a lot of different things surrounding freedom.
Essence of what artistry is like meant to be. It's like a conduit, like you let the energy flow like through you, like a circuit.
Here. And I'm like, sir, it's got your fingerprint in there and it was still wet. And he goes, it's got value. I go, no, it decreased the value now I got to redo it. And I was hospitalized for 13 days and my art shifted a different direction. So now when I go to bed, I see bugs, butterflies. If it glows in the dark, it's my painting for the next day. It's going to be a glow in the dark. I don't fight, I just create. Right. It comes out naturally.
Well, hello there, family. You're listening to Fired Up Freedom with Steve Ryan. Fired Up Freedom. All right. Do you ever look for certain services or products and it's just hard to find and you want to know if someone else has used that before? Well, visit my resources page, steveryan.com/resources, steveryan.com/resources. Fired Up Friday is now Fired Up Freedom.
Welcome to Fired Up Friday! What's going on? This is Steve Ryan with Tavi, OMA, and we got Annalise in the background. Josh is over there. We rocking and rolling down here, Pacific City Highway, Huntington Beach. Let's go!
So, being a part of the community, and then you as an artist yourself, in regards to what happened there, explain to me about the Alpha Group and everything like that. These are terms that I'm mostly unfamiliar with. But would you look forward to that happening again? Or are you trying to do things like differently for next time? Like, I guess basically, and they were telling me also how you're transitioning, into the Web3 space. Would that be like considered successful? I mean, it's a good look, and like, I'm sure it feels it's great and everything, but it's like the outcome that we're like looking to.
No, not necessarily. So you kind of want all of those in one, right? Like when we talk about having the full package, it's having the alpha groups, the whales, to help basically clear out the project for the people that are interested in buying, but maybe they're worried it doesn't mint out. Because like we all see, if you have a project and half the people buy it, but it doesn't mint out, they believed in it, that's why they bought it. But all of a sudden they're doubting themselves. Oh, should I not have bought this? Should I not have done this? Sometimes when you have alpha groups that basically clear things through, it's bought and you're on now to the secondary. You're on to building utility and new people and bringing people in. Sometimes you have people that they don't know, they don't look, they don't even check because one thing didn't hit. The problem with it doing that though is if you don't have that community behind it, it doesn't become really an NFT. Because just like a physical piece, when you give it to someone, you never see it again, you never make royalties, it's gone. Same thing with products that don't really have a secondary market. You sell it, but it never gets secondary. Yes. You're never creating the royalties, which the whole point of NFTs is being able to make royalties forever, in perpetuity.
So they just buy and hold and and just drop, or what does that go?
Well, no, so if it's just like with stocks, right? When people ask why are stocks up and down, more buyers than sellers, more sellers than buyers. So as soon as you have more sellers than buyers, and it's on a vast majority, maybe somebody bought 30 pieces, and then someone else bought 30, and then someone else bought 30, and they dumped all their pieces at the same hour span, you're talking about like 90 pieces dropped on the floor that now 90 new pieces either have to pick up, or someone's going to undercut that on the floor, and then someone undercuts that, and then it just is this downward spiral of everyone freaking out trying to get out of something that's not even falling apart.
And is that where we're at kind of right now? Like,
no, and I mean not exactly for. I don't think the market's like that.
no, it's not more. You said sellers than buyers.
Yeah, I mean, the volume is the volume, right?
Yeah.
Because of crypto in general. But what's strange is when crypto goes down and crashes, NFTs actually go up because it's a fire sale. If ETH goes down, the price of your NFT at an ETH is no longer 2,500. It's now 17. You just got a massive discount. So that's why if you look, when everything's crashing and the world is burning and everyone's like, oh, Bitcoin's going to zero, everyone in NFT land are laughing going, oh, it's time to buy, because when everyone's fearful, that's when you make your real money, right?
Wow, yeah.
But realistically, if you believe in it, nothing's changed.
Right.
Nothing has changed. If you believe in in whatever currency that you're buying, just because it goes up or down, it shouldn't change that value. So that's why you see gas at like $500, $600 when the market's crashing, because everyone's buying NFTs, even though the market's crashing. It's
Now,
very
is that
strange.
expensive or cheaper?
$500 is expensive, obviously.
Okay,
Yeah.
And you used another term, mint out. That means selling out? Or?
Yeah, basically during your mint, you'll have a certain amount of collection, whatever. It might be 500, it might be 1,000, 7,000, 10,000. And just minting out is there. Now, you don't have to mint out right away. A lot of people think they do, and that's just because we were in a bull market for a long time. Everyone was buying anything.
Yeah.
It's very easy to mint.
It's not
And
like that.
yeah, when you see the volume move, everything's on volume. If volume on OpenSea for the last 2 months is at a record, you and I know, rooms are bigger. Everything's bigger. People are happy. The world is excitement. We're gonna do it. We're gonna make it, right? And then as soon as it's like dead, everyone's like,
What am I doing?
what
I don't need to be a Web3.
Yeah, I don't need
I
to
need
do
to find a
this.
job.
Yeah. I made a mistake. Yeah.
I got family issues. Yeah, family issues before that. So,
Or worse, it's like you'll have a lot of people, I just need to step away from this. It's like, this isn't even anything.
I need to breathe.
I just need to think about it.
Yeah.
Process. I feel fired up. now. Fired up Fridays on
now you get that
Tuesday.
visual when you come into the space.
Yeah.
I got the phone. The phone be, like, what's going on, everybody? Look, we're gonna get it. All right, Tavi in the room, done in the room. We're gonna go. Let's go.
So what do you think of the gallery?
It's very nice. It's official. I really like, definitely, I don't know, I look for specific words and everything, but like the assortment, of like all the products and the variety of the products. I thoroughly enjoy that. Like socks, like pillows, it's like you're covering a lot of different industries here, and if nothing else, I understand, like, because we're growing, like, as artists, as people and everything, even if you don't have it locked down.
Yo, Tavi, check out that bird outside.
Now he's just trying to.
When I started out, I was doing art walks.
We talked about
in
this,
Laguna
right?
Beach.
Yeah.
And I had a spiritual lady that I worked with, and she goes, "You got to go into this gallery right now, showing her stuff." I just had put in my Instagram account, and she goes, "Well, I need your portfolio." And I'm like, "I don't have it." And then I'm like, "Oh, I have my stuff on Instagram now." So I showed her that, and she goes, "You're ready to be seen. $150 for an easel outside." She goes, "Bring 3 pieces. You're only allowed to show 1." I did. Call some of my collectors. She bought a 48 by 60 on my first art walk. Boom, and I kept selling for the next 6 months outside. I was invited to the galleries. Never on the main gallery, because the owner at that time only supported abstract art inside his main gallery. And I was like, why does it always have to be abstract, right? So I continued to do my stuff. One thing that I did was I started putting my, once I got into the studios, I had a window hanging up my art walks, the first Thursday of every month. I put cups, thank you cards, and T-shirts. I started branding myself. I wanted to test what was. I knew I have something big. I know.
Yeah.
So I had to test myself, and it kept growing. And you'll see like the cupcake series. You see the cupcake series, and I used to bake cupcakes. So the night before the art walks, we would bake. Whoever was in my house, we'd bake cupcake sprinkles, put Jello inside, and hand them out, and had a guest book. I said, want a cupcakes on my guest book so I can let you know about my events. I started doing that, then went to a different gallery. I was rejected in Palm Springs. I've been rejected at galleries. I've been told I wasn't the real thing, but I kept branding my product.
Right.
This became available in January, and I saw the opportunity. What made me realize that I had something good last summer, I did Gay Pride for San Fernando Valley, for La Familia, and I did gift baskets and donated artwork. We raised money. They gave me a valued $5,000 tent, and I had products under the tent. A lot of these products were in my garage. And to see everything under one roof was amazing for me. So when I see my gallery, I'm like, not a lot of people can afford a $10,000, $8,000 piece or a $5,000. But you can take a pair of socks for $24, a coloring book, a thank you card for $24.50.
Right.
It's giving something that they're gonna have the experience of the gallery and sharing it with, because it is not my gift, it's a gift for me to share with the world.
Right.
And giving back to the community. Like on this wall back here, I have 2 local artists that I featured that art there, and I don't charge them the rent. I want to give back. I got 2 artists already lined up for next month. That the very top is Marco, and the very bottom with the box back there, the abstract, is Dan Alon. This is Dan, and these are Marco's. These are mine, but then you see Dan over there with the abstract as well. So I just need to remind myself where I've been, and just don't take things for granted. It's giving back.
No, it's beautiful. I can feel like the energy and like
I love all the freedom, pride, like everything is inspirational freedom.
And then some of them glow in the dark. I'll show you.
Oh.
There's like
I did see that.
the D time, the Java time glows in the dark.
Okay.
Be Your Voice. This is before COVID too. And then the 2 at the bottom glow in the dark.
That's cool.
Wow.
Then if you come here, you're gonna see the Lady Deco Woman glows. The Universe Planet glows. But if you look closely, this piece, this is what she looks like when you shut the light off.
Wow.
Right here, Frida glows, trust, love glows in the dark, but this is what she looks like here.
That's good.
That's awesome.
Wow.
So I always tell people that it is a 5-year-old kid painting, because it is. My grandparents raised me, so it's just I stay grounded and I meditate, and I see my paintings on my ceiling before at night. I had COVID. I was hospitalized in November. I got really sick. Hospitalized for 13 days, and my art shifted a different direction. So now when I go to bed, I see bugs, butterflies. If it glows in the dark, it's my painting for the next day. It's gonna be a glow in the dark. I don't fight. I just create. It comes out naturally.
Fired Up Freedom will be right back after these messages. Do you ever have moments where you feel stress, anxiety, or it's hard to sleep? Then meditation may be the perfect thing to help you. Come and join our meditation channel where there's 24 hours a day on-demand meditation music. Go to steveryan.com/meditation. That's steveryan.com/meditation. It's time to have freedom from the noise.
The 2 that are outside, I started painting those yesterday. I love the one with the white face. It's like, wow, I'm like, the beauty of it is that my art has completely evolved. This is what it used to look like. Stuff like this. Back in 2015. And then to see this.
Wow.
To see everything under one roof, there's only one word that comes to my mind, magical. And my color is freedom for me, guys, I have to stay humble every day. And don't let my ego get in like I'm this. People say, oh, you made it it's just me, I'm having fun.
Right. No, I feel everything that you're saying, like through all of these. It's like, I don't.
That is not a 5-year-old kid painting. I go, maybe that's your interpretation, but it is. It's a kid.
Right.
I go to my happy moments, and if you look at the colors, man, they're happy colors.
Yeah.
I can show you one painful period of my life, that these two are the ones that they remind me of what it was like probably about 7 years ago. These are pretty dark for me.
You can tell.
Yeah. And it was hope and trust.
Yeah, the
Hey,
colors.
guys.
Yeah.
Right. So the whole transition has been very interesting, and being I was honored to be on your space. I was like, yeah, and I'm glad that we finally met. I appreciate everything that goes on, and I appreciate that I have a view to paint. I use the gallery as my studio, and I invite artists to come and paint with me during the week. You know, hey, I got 2 artists coming in Thursday or Friday. It's just fun.
Yeah.
No, you remind me of like the essence of what artistry is like meant to be. It's like a conduit, you know, like you let the energy flow like through you, you know, like a circuit that's going like full, you know, and then you want to reciprocate that energy, you know, outwards, and like so.
And the question is that most people say, how long does it take you to paint? Sometimes I don't like answering that question, and you know, it takes a couple of days. I did 2 pieces in 2 days. I mean, I can produce art and whip it out.
No,
really
for
fast.
me that question doesn't come to mind. It's not like I would ask how consistently, you know, and
I have inventory in the back too, my stock.
Like, do you set like a specific time to aside to creating?
There's probably like 4 times a week. Sometimes on a Saturday, because it also attracts more people in.
Okay.
I paint outside, and there's a day that I kind of allow myself, okay, I'm gonna order merchandise, I'm gonna do this, straighten out or move.
Right.
I rearranged the whole gallery because I had a divider here with pieces more art, and I'm like, no, and then I had big round rags for my products, and I said, they're too bulky, let me simplify it. Well, before the event, I said, and then now I have the chairs facing the ocean, because I had paintings covering my windows. And I'm like, I'm paying a lot for a view that I'm hiding, and I should share it, you know?
Right.
So now it just has this positive vibe, more light, great view of the ocean. You know, I allow myself to you're gonna paint 4 days, and I don't even know, like I wasn't anticipating of painting that one outside yesterday, any of them. All of a sudden I said, paint. I started organizing my stockroom and canvases, and I said, why don't you just paint? And then it just, boom, I'd seen the painting, and I'm like, I'm gonna hold off for a day or stuff, and I just get creative.
Right. So like that whole, do you like schedule and like you set yourself like discipline? You have to say like to yourself.
Discipline is a big thing.
Yeah.
For me, I've also disciplined that when I go home, and the beauty of having the gallery and using it as a studio, I don't have any art supplies in the house. I used to have my studio in the garage. No paints, no brushes, everything's here. So I separate this, and then I have my personal life, which is something that I've never experienced, and it's a luxury to have that, because I go home, hang out with my partner, play with the dogs, have dinner.
Right.
If I want to watch TV or if I want to meditate, it's a different life. But disciplining myself to finding time for my art, it's a must.
Right.
I mean, I'm going to create today, or I'm going to paint today. It's a weekend, great, no problem. I'm going to resin, and I tell people like, oh, it's wet, and of course you're going to have somebody that says, well, if I touch it like this, if you touch it, you just bought yourself an $8,500 piece of art. and I'm straightforward. I mean, I'm being honest.
Right,
I mean, one guy actually did touch it, and he goes, it's worth more money. I go, no, sir, now I got to fix it, sir.
He did it on purpose.
He did it on purpose, because they said there's signs. That happened about a month and a half ago, and he goes, here. And I'm like, sir, it's got your fingerprint in there, and it was still wet. And he goes, it's got value. I go, no, it decreased the value now. Now I got to redo it. And I was able to touch it up because it was still fairly wet with the resin on it. So it's like, why would you do that?
Yeah, right. But going back to discipline, that reminds me of that. And this is one of the questions that I ask the most, because it seems that people who are successful in whatever artistry that they pursue, they have heaping portions of like both brain, like sides. So you seem to have like a distinction between like the business aspects of it and like the art.
the business
Like they
part.
fuel each other.
Yeah, the business
So
part.
what's that relationship with that?
Okay, so the business part, I used to, for 13 years, I used to consult people. I sold my art, and if a business, high-end store, or for instance, if an Ashley store went out of business, I would go in there and consult them, and I would give them what they made in 1 year in a 3-month contract, guaranteed, like at a 40 or 50% margin. And I trained their staff how to read the buying signs when somebody's interested, and certain lines.
This is just on yourself, on you, on your.
No, it was a company that
Okay.
I was an independent contractor. So
Okay.
I drove for 13 years cross country doing that and selling my art at the same time, finding time to.
That's a
and I-
valuable skill, right?
And I would sell them to the in-house people. You know, the ladies behind the
People
counter.
don't ask these questions.
You
People
know,
need to know these.
Yeah, so I did that. So as far as coming from the business part, I already have that.
Right.
I walked out from a job that I ran a very high-end luxury living showroom here. I walked out from a $200,000 job to pursue my passion.
Yeah.
And the good thing was that I had the support from my partner Brian. He said, give it 6 months to a year, and believe me, man, I worked my butt off. But I reinvented, COVID hit, and I'm like, what the hell am I gonna do? I published coloring books, submitted some artwork to LA. One of them was chosen. I just kept hitting stuff, and I'm like, no doesn't exist in my vocabulary. I will find a solution and find an answer, do my research. I've been on my own since I was 15 and a half, so nobody can tell me you cannot do this, because I've done things that nobody, you know, there's no one that can say no.
Running from myself at times I can't describe the words I try, the fear